During World War II, in its first combat encounter with the German Afrika Corps at the Battle of Kasserine Pass, the II Corps is defeated by Field Marshal Erwin Rommel. General George S. Patton is placed in command of II Corps and begins instilling his authority amongst his untested and poorly disciplined troops. Alongside the poor condition of American soldiers in the II Corps, Patton identifies how his British counterpart, General Bernard Montgomery, is monopolizing the Allied effort to suit his own needs. The Allied victory in North Africa prompts Patton and Montgomery to come up with competing plans for the Allied invasion of Sicily. Patton's plan highlights the strategic importance of Syracuse, hypothesizing that its fall would trigger an evacuation of Sicily. Patton proposes that Montgomery captures Syracuse, whereas he will land near Palermo and then capture Messina to cut off the withdrawal. Though the plan impresses General Harold Alexander, General Dwight D. Eisenhower turns it down in favor of Montgomery's more cautious plan that places both armies in a side-by-side landing in the Gulf of Gila. When the Allies liberate Syracuse, the evacuation predicted by Patton proves correct, but without Allied forces in the north, thousands of Italian and German forces retreat. The rearguard left behind to stall the Allies bogs down the invasion, prompting Patton to drive west and capture Palermo before beating Montgomery to Messina. Though his advance breaks the deadlock in Sicily, his aggression does not sit well with his subordinates Omar Bradley and Lucian Truscott. During a visit to a field hospital, Patton notices a soldier crying amongst the wounded and dead. Furious, he accuses the soldiers of cowardice and slaps the soldier before demanding that he is returned to the front lines. Eisenhower demands that Patton apologize to the soldier and his entire command, which he reluctantly does. Despite apologizing, he is sidelined for the coming Allied invasion of France and instead placed in command of the fictitious 1st United States Army Group as a decoy in London, the Allied command confident in that keeping Patton in England will tell the Germans that he will lead the invasion of Europe. To a public gathering in the town of Knutsford, Patton remarks that the post-war world will be dominated by the British-American spheres of influence. This comment is viewed as a slight to the Soviet Union. Despite Patton's protest that he has done nothing wrong, the situation has spiraled from his control, and the decision to send him home or remain in England is placed on General George Marshall. Though not present for the Normandy invasion, Patton is given a command by his now superior General Bradley of the Third Army. Under his leadership, the Third Army sweeps across France, but it is brought to a halt just before entering Germany, because gasoline and other vital supplies have been instead allocated to Montgomery's Operation Market Garden. Frustrated at being sidelined to appease Montgomery, Patton demands to know why he was given a command if he cannot advance. Bradley retorts that it was actually his decision to place Patton in Europe, not Eisenhower's or anyone else's. During the Battle of the Bulge, Patton devises a plan to relieve the trapped 101st Airborne Division in Bastogne, which he does before smashing through the Siegfried Line and into Germany. After Germany capitulates, Patton's outspokenness lands him in trouble when he compares American politics to Nazism. Though he is relieved of command, he is kept on to see the rebuilding of Germany. He later walks Willie, his bull terrier. Patton's voice is heard. For over 1,000 years, Roman conquerors returning from the wars enjoyed the honor of a triumph, a tumultuous parade. In the procession came trumpeters and musicians and strange animals from the conquered territories, together with carts laden with treasure and captured armaments. The conqueror rode in a triumphal chariot, the dazed prisoners walking in chains before him. Sometimes his children, robed in white, stood with him in the chariot, or rode the trace horses. A slave stood behind the conqueror, holding a golden crown, and whispering in his ear a warning, that all glory is fleeting.